Hi, everybody. My name is Jen Myers. I'm in the College of Health Science and Kinesiology, and I am here to walk you through a short video tutorial of our new streamlined CSP 498 internship class. You might have 20 interns that you're overseeing this semester, or maybe just one or two, but the goal of our newly created kind of primary internship class is that across departments, across programs, all interns are getting the same experience, at least on the backside when operating in MyCourses. And hopefully it will help kind of standardize what we as faculty members are doing as well. So you now have access to your fall 2025 sections. And if you're watching this video after that, your subsequent sections will be available after those course copies happen. I'm going to walk you through what the primary looks like and then what your section might look like, and then also the communication that you can expect being delivered to the students, to the site supervisors, and to yourself on behalf of yourself through our internal communications platform Slate. So like many of your other classes in MyCourses, we have instructor course information. If you will be operating with different groups of students within your class, you might have a 16-week internship and an 8-week internship. You most likely will have two different sections for that. But if you have those sections put together in a parent-child kind of merge, then you can group your students together with the students who are doing a full semester class and students who are doing just an 8-week class. So those students, here's videos on how to add a student to a group or how to send announcements to certain groups of students. Our syllabus is here. This is our 2025-2026 version. So it is very universal across all programs and pretty generic. Frequently asked questions for you as instructors. Course essentials. We've highlighted the student learning outcomes and the goals of the internship for each of the students. Again, the syllabus is there for them. And then what they are being assessed on. This is a pass or no pass class. So they complete both their hours at their site, but then also they need to complete the requirements for the internship at 80% or more. We have 100 points total for this internship class. So what the student will see is 3 different categories: before you start your hours, during your hours, and the conclusion. They have 1 assignment to complete in video format, before written, video or written. I like to encourage my students to do video. That way I get to see them as well. And I ask them hopefully to do a video at their internship location if possible, but I realize that's not possible for everybody with privacy reasons. But this will satisfy our 72-hour engagement touch point for students as well to be active in the course. You might have some students that get added after that first 2 days of the class, but encourage them to do this right away. So again, this is across all programs, across all majors. All interns will be doing the same thing. So written or video format, and then that does include a rubric. So you can set your due date for that. For instance, I'm going to set mine as the first Wednesday or Thursday of the semester. Again, realizing that students might be getting added to the internship a couple days late. And then that will be up to you if you're going to have an automatic 0 for assignments that don't get turned in by that due date. And then you'd have to manually go back in and take a look at those videos or written descriptions afterwards. During your internship hours, they will be creating or updating a resume. This really connects with our career objectives and career connectedness goals for a resume. So you might have students say, well, I've done this for other classes as well. The real goal of this resume is that they are adding in their internship experience. So that way they've added another line or sentence on their resume for that. So there are some resume links and opportunities here within our Career Development Center. And then there are also some further resources on the Career Development Center where you can the students can actually put their resume through an AI tool and it can give it a grade on how well it's done. So that's kind of cool. And then again, a rubric here for that. And then at the internship conclusion, your students will be doing again, video or written. If video is something that they're not able to do, again, I've asked my interns to be at their internship location if it's feasible for them, but they are reflecting on the student learning outcomes with a specific example. So applying classroom knowledge, hopefully they would say something like, in my anatomy class, I learned XYZ, and when I was at the physical therapy clinic, I was able to see this, or whatever the case might be for sociology or management or marketing. So giving specific examples of the 3 student learning outcomes, and then just some self-reflection on what did you enjoy about your internship duties? Maybe this type of work isn't for you, and what are your next steps? So that way, when you watch this video, you have another way to be connecting with those students after that internship. Originally, students and supervisors alike would fill out a end of this semester evaluation through skill survey. That platform does not exist anymore. We will be moving that evaluation to our own internal communications, and right now we are having just the supervisor fill that out, and that is not graded. I know that there's a lot of moving pieces, and it was a manual process to find out, okay, what student filled it out, what supervisor filled it out. You don't want to give a student a 0 if their supervisor didn't fill it out. So we've taken away some of that kind of feeling of not being in control with the students being able to give their feedback. So just the site supervisor for the student will be filling out an evaluation, and that will then be, the data will be gathered and aggregated, and we'll be able to take a look at it in-house as well. So speaking of that internship evaluation, that will be one of the pieces that the site supervisor is communicated to. Site supervisor will get a welcome email that will be attached with your name. So, hello, thank you for hosting XYZ student. They are registered for X amount of credits at your location. If this doesn't sound correct, please reach out to me right away. So your name will be attached to that email, even though you're not sending it. So that will come the first, third or fourth day of the semester. So you may get some replies to you from site supervisors. Just know that the email went out on your behalf. We will, our communications team will be able to let you know ahead of time that, hey, this email is going out tomorrow. So site supervisors will get a welcome email at the beginning of the semester. Students will get a welcome email through Slate, just reminding them that they're registered for the internship. They should log into MyCourses. They have an assignment that's ready to go. And then all the other communication with the students will come in the form of anything personalized you might send to them, and then the weekly announcements, which I'll get back to. Supervisors, site supervisors will then get a second email halfway through. So either about 7.5 weeks in for our 15 and 16-week internships, or 4 weeks in for our 8-week internships. Just again, a soft touch. Thank you again for hosting an intern. Hopefully things are going well. And then asking the site supervisor, hey, why don't you check in with your intern on the resume assignment? The site supervisor is not expected to help them with the resume assignment, but it can be a talking point for them and a opportunity for some professional development. Then finally, the third piece of information that the site supervisor will get will be this internship evaluation. They will get that a week before the internship is finished, and then they'll get a reminder if they haven't filled it out. So it kind of mirrors the skill survey evaluation that we had previously, but we trimmed it down a little bit so it's not the 29 questions. So hopefully it we'll gather a little bit more robust data, but we're looking at career competencies, and site supervisors will be putting them on a Likert scale with an opportunity for comments in each of them. And then at the bottom, we do ask that they give an example of where the student intern excelled and where they have some room to grow. Now, we as faculty will get this data as well. We'll be able to see it in real time, so we won't have to wait for somebody else to send it to us, or we won't have to at least wait to know if a supervisor filled it out. So changes include that the supervisor evaluation is now not graded, or the student doesn't have to follow up with their supervisor to have them do this. The student won't see this feedback. However, we as faculty can gather it, and maybe there's some generic themes that we can pass on, or there might be a conversational point with a specific student. And then the student themselves will also not be completing this end of the semester evaluation. Instead, they'll be doing more of a self-reflection in video format. So to recap, Internship site supervisor will get a welcome email, a middle of the experience email, and then a final email thanking them and then asking them to complete the evaluation. Students will get one email at the beginning of the semester. It will come with our names attached to it, but we won't physically send it. That just reminds them that they're in the internship. And then every other communication that needs to go to students can either be things that you create via email or sending via MyCourses. Otherwise, one of your jobs for this primary class will be posting the announcements. We have 8 announcements. So if you are teaching an 8-week internship or overseeing an 8-week internship, you want to schedule these one per week. If you are doing a 16-week internship, one every other week. So right now these are in draft form. So when you get to your section, I'll actually go to mine here, fall 2025. Don't forget to add your personal information in there. When you go to your course admin and announcements, they will all be there for you in draft form. So you can choose when you want this to publish. So students can see this starting August 26th. Technically, school starts on the 2nd. Maybe I'm going to have it send on the 2nd at 9 a.m. or Wednesday or every other Monday, but be consistent with those announcements so the students know that they're coming. So each of these announcements has a pro tip inside it. You are free to tweak that a little bit if there's something that you want to say specifically with your program. But if you're teaching a 15-week or more traditional 15, 16-week internship, program these for every other week. And if you are overseeing a 8-week internship, either during C1 the first half or C2 the second half, you'll want to have these go one every week. And feel free to read through the internship announcements so you know what's again going out on your behalf. But when you preset these, they will set automatically and then send an email automatically at the time that you've chosen. And then you'll also see that so that you know that the students got that as well. So what I will be doing with my fall internship here is under the assignments tab, setting due dates for my pre-internship student introduction, the resume, and then the student learning outcomes assignment. So I'm going to set this for probably the first Thursday of the semester. And then this probably end of week 7 or beginning of week 8. Again, if students are turning things in late, that's totally, I shouldn't say it's totally fine. It's up to you, but it's a different story with the internship because the due dates aren't all going to be exactly the same for everybody, especially if they have finished their hours or starting them a little later, et cetera, et cetera. So don't be penalizing a student if they get their resume in 2 days late because it's a different type of class, but they do need to complete all of these assignments to be able to pass the class. So that is what it looks like going forward here with our new primary site for internships. I am happy to answer any questions that you might have, especially things about pre-setting the announcements or if you need to put your students into different groups. If you do have students in a 16-week internship, they will be in a different section than if you have students in an 8-week internship. So for those of you who have a few interns or interns who might be starting the second half of the semester or who are only going the first half of the semester, you will have more than one section in MyCourses. So just be mindful of that as well. All right, everybody, I hope that you are having a great day and I look forward to having another successful school year. Take care.